Hey guys, this is No Solution. I'm Scott. It's Saturday morning. Got my coffee here. My wife got me this mug. Yes, I have a cool wife. She doesn't care if I have a stupid heavy metal coffee mug with a big pentagram on it. Whatever. She's just like, that's who I married. So, cheers, guys. So, this video is to celebrate a very momentous anniversary. November 4th, 1997. I know I can remember it like it was yesterday. I'm sure you all can too. Nice crisp fall day. And made the trip to the record store. Walked up to the counter, plunked down my $16.99 and said, "Sir, I need Signs of Chaos, the best of Testament." That's right, guys. It came out 26 years ago today. Can you believe it? Oh, the memories come flooding back when I had to buy this because it had two cover songs that I didn't have on the other albums. Yeah, just a little bit of fun there, guys. I made a community post about the anniversaries that mostly on Instagram. Some people are always posting about. It's always the anniversary of some album that probably nobody cares about or really remembers. It just has become a thing, and I think it's just junk and annoying. So I did it. I looked up to see what came out November 4th. This is what I came up with. I thought this was a very good example. Obviously, if it's a favorite album or it's like something big like a 30 year or a 40 or 50 or something like that, I can understand drawing attention to that, but it's just junk. I think it's just content farming. Just my opinion. If you do that and you enjoy doing it, good for you. Okay. Yeah, this is just kind of a random thoughts video, I guess. I'm continuing my Bob Dylan exploration, and I picked this up to watch from the library. No Direction Home. This is the 3.5-hour documentary that Martin Scorsese put together. Came out in 2005. Most of the footage, I guess, was shot in the 90s, which was I was glad that they had done that then, because they got to talk to a lot of Bob's contemporaries or people who were older than him when he started out in folk music. And obviously all those people are long gone. So you get to hear all those people in their own words. So this really only covers like the beginning of his career up until 1966. And what really struck me about this, it covers, obviously, if you don't know, Bob Dylan was started out as a folk singer, basically just him and a guitar and harmonica, and then kind of transitioned into a full band and rock music, and then famously plugged in and played with a full band at the Newport Folk Festival in 1965, and people were very upset. Actually, it seems like most of the performers were more upset than the audience. And obviously he had to know that would happen. Really ballsy move. I mean, you can't really take all of what Bob says at face value, because in my limited knowledge, he seems to recontextualize his life based on what he thinks now. But it really seems to me that it was like he was tired of the scene, he was tired of all the rules of it, and he wanted to break out and do what he wanted to do. And this was kind of a big fuck you to everybody who wanted him to stay in his box and sing his little protest songs. And basically, like, what a rebel. Like, it's the most punk rock thing that I can imagine doing. And then he went on tour and did it all over, and just seeing the reaction in Britain, these British kids dressed up in their little suits, and then there's some interviews with them after the show, and they're like, "Oh, this is rubbish. We came to see Bob Dylan, not a pop group." And I guess you could use the term toxic fandom, which I thought was very interesting. That supposedly today, Star Wars fans don't like something, that they're toxic, and it becomes a whole political thing, or any branch of fandom, really. Like the whole toxic thing is a big talking point. Well, these kids in the 60s looked pretty toxic because they were mad that Bob Dylan had a drummer on stage with them. So I think what the conclusion I drew from that is everything's the same always. People are the same. It's just now with social media, every asshole can amplify his voice, and it makes it seem bigger than it is. So, but yeah, going back to, so that's that. That was one of the conclusions I drew, was that fandom is fandom. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter what time period it is. It's people get passionate, and then they make up their own rules, and then they get mad when people don't follow those rules. The other thing was about, my little punk rock analogy with Bob Dylan. How much more punk rock is that than this? I've always had a weird relationship with the Sex Pistols, relationship. That sounds, I don't have a relationship with them. I have their fucking record and I've listened to it. That's not a relationship, but obviously there's some cool songs on here. But to me, they're just the fakest. They were manufactured, basically. They were put together by somebody to promote his clothing shop. And the fact that they are held in such high regard in the scene, maybe not by everybody, but kind of the main conventional wisdom is that they were, just these great innovators and rebels and shook things up, and they kind of did shake things up, but I don't know. It just seemed like it was not sincere, very cynical and commercial, which was supposed to be what they were against. The fact that they kicked out Glenn Matlock, who was one of their primary songwriters, because he was not punk rock enough, and then hired a junkie, Sid Vicious, to play bass, even though he couldn't play, to stand there and look like a punk rocker. So I guess that's the other side of the image thing, is image with nothing behind it is absolutely worthless. That's the example of that. They had a musician in the band who wrote songs, but he didn't look cool enough, so they kicked him out for a junkie who just kind of stood there and then spit at people, and everybody loved him. I don't know. I still have this. I don't listen to it very much. Came out in '77. The Ramones have been doing it for years already, and we're actually a band. We're an authentic band, not some 70s version of New Kids on the Block. So yeah, there's my hot take. Bob Dylan, 1,000 times more punk rock than the Sex Pistols. What else? Just a couple of things I wanted to show. Steve, S&T Young had recommended this, Gallow Braid. The lineup of this is the guys who did Caledon Brood, and he was raving about it, and I checked it out, and holy crap, this is an amazing autumnal kind of black metal album, kind of in the vein of, I guess you could say, Aglock. That's kind of the easy comparison. They don't sound like Aglock, but they give me similar feelings. It's two really lengthy songs. I think one's 15, one's 10, and then there's a couple of instrumental pieces, and then this version has a bonus track also. So that comes in, it's considered an EP, but with the bonus track, it's about 40 minutes long. And I just can't stop listening to it. It's just an amazing piece of work. This is the only thing they've done besides kind of a nice photo there in the middle. They did another track on a comp, and I was so in love with this, I was going to buy it straight away, and then I was like, I might as well listen to it first. And I listened to it, and it's like, ooh, it does not, it's fine. It just did not measure up to what this is. So if you're into like that atmospheric black metal sound, kind of in the fall vein, we're still in the fall here in Michigan, where it's already snowed, so it won't be much longer, but yeah, awesome for this season. Gallow Braid, not self-titled, it's called Ashen Eidolon. I'll link it so you can check it out. All right, a book. I used to read a lot. I don't read much anymore, but I picked this up, Dead Girl Blues by Lawrence Block. He's a pretty big crime/mystery author. He self-published this one, actually. This is a newer one. Really interesting premise. I mean, there's a spoiler the first 10 pages, but it's the premise of the book that if you read anything about the book, you'll know. Guy picks up a drunk girl in a bar in, I think it's supposed to be like the late 60s, and drives her out to make out point or whatever to do what they're going to do. She wakes up and doesn't want to be there, and he kills her and rapes her in that order. And does not feel bad about it. It's something he's been considering doing for years, and he finally got his opportunity. So then he kind of goes to a hotel and kind of sits there and waits to get caught. And then after a little while realizes that nobody cares about this girl and he's not going to get caught. So then he moves on with his life. And in that, in that time period, it was a little bit easier to move into a town and get an ID under a new name and start a new life. And that's what he does. And he has a family, and it just kind of deals with how do you do something like that and then live with it for the rest of your life. And, incidents come up that, kind of complicate things, but yeah, really awesome, really well written book. I can see why I self-published it, because I mean, how do you sell that to a publisher? Like, yeah, my main character who narrates the story rapes and murders a girl in the first 10 pages and then gets away with it. Yeah, if you're into like crime stories or something a little more off the wall, kind of the psychological makeup of somebody who does something like that, Dead Girl Blues by Lawrence Block. It's super cheap on Amazon right now. That's why I snagged it. Yeah, so there's that. Yeah, I had kind of a negative topic, but I'm not feeling very negative now, so I'll save that for another time. Thank you so much for watching this if you did, and I understand if you didn't, but if you didn't, you didn't hear this, so whatever. Man, there's so many VC channels and other channels that I enjoy that if I don't go on YouTube for a day, then I go back and it's like, oh, so-and-so has a video, so-and-so has a video, and then I miss videos and I feel bad about it. So just wanted to let you know if I, missed somebody's video or didn't comment. I don't dislike anybody. There's only so much time in the day, so sometimes you got to pick and choose, and I understand. That people do the same with me, so just enjoying doing these videos, and hopefully the people who watch enjoy what I'm doing. So thanks a lot for watching, everybody. I really do appreciate it, and as always, CM Punk's a piss baby. Later.